"I knew that image gave me bad vibes," one commenter sighed, and many agreed it was hard to disagree. The black and white photo posted on the As Ever Instagram page as part of a Valentine's campaign was clearly intended to feel dreamy, romantic, and artistic. Instead, it struck viewers as strangely unsettling, drifting into uncanny territory and even drawing comparisons to low-budget horror imagery. Almost immediately, clown jokes, Pennywise references, and a flood of emojis followed. In the photograph, Meghan Markle smiles stiffly while holding a cluster of helium balloons, dressed in a strapless Roland Mouret gown. The caption leans heavily into poetic flair, describing winter fire, January embers, and a burning heart. Yet for critics, the lyrical words do little to distract from what they believe is an obvious and rather dramatic Photoshop mishap. From the first glance, something simply feels wrong. Attention quickly shifts to the lower half of the image. Viewers claim Meghan appears to have two drastically different feet. One looks proportionate and natural, while the other seems dramatically reduced in size, allegedly by nearly half. According to online commentators, the right foot resembles a standard size 6, while the left looks closer to a size 13. The imbalance is so striking that it sparked jokes about shoe retailers double-checking boxes to ensure the pairs actually match. If the goal was to make her appear daintier, critics argue it failed badly. Obvious resizing errors are visible around the altered shoe, with warped edges and inconsistent proportions that many say look like the work of an inexperienced editor. For a brand that claims to value visual refinement, the execution comes across as careless. Curiously, while one foot appears heavily manipulated, her face seems largely untouched. Lines along the cheeks, deep horizontal wrinkles, and what some critics describe as visible marks along the jawline remain clearly visible. The uneven approach to editing feels odd, with extreme smoothing or reshaping in one area and none in another, raising questions about whether there was any real quality control involved. The balloons invite even more scrutiny. There are many of them, yet somehow not enough. Sharp-eyed viewers noticed pale outlines around each balloon, suggesting they were digitally added. Others counted the strings and claimed there were more strings than balloons, something that wouldn't be possible without digital intervention. Adding to the strangeness, neither the balloons nor Meghan herself appear to cast any shadows, despite the background clearly showing depth and a defined light source. The effect led some to jokingly label the look vampire chic. Her posture does little to improve the image. Meghan is once again leaning forward in a familiar hunched stance, smiling awkwardly toward no obvious focal point. Viewers were left wondering what exactly she was meant to be doing. Is she holding balloons? Jam. Is the helium pulling her forward? The ambiguity only adds to the discomfort. Critics describe the pose as tense rather than joyful, pairing an expensive gown with an overly forced, quirky girl energy that feels more manufactured than genuine. Timing also became part of the criticism. The image was released in January, a time when many brands lean into themes of warmth, comfort, and seasonal coziness. Instead, As Ever delivered a ghostly balloon scene that some felt resembled a creepy Valentine's prank rather than an inviting lifestyle moment. Others speculated it was a subtle flex, hinting at sunny Montecito winters, mild temperatures, and leisurely indulgence while much of the world remains cold. Then there's the familiar tonal contradiction. Once again, Meghan appears styled to look both elite and relatable at the same time, wearing high-end couture while projecting exaggerated accessibility. Critics argue this balance no longer works. The message seems to be, yes, I'm wealthy, but I'm also just like you, delivered through luxury clothing, a carefully staged smile, and curated informality. For many, the illusion has worn thin. Taken together, the mismatched feet, floating balloons, missing shadows, awkward body language, and overwrought caption combine into an image that feels chaotic rather than romantic. Instead of polished or aspirational, it strikes viewers as oddly disturbing. For a brand already accused of repackaging tired concepts and overproducing mediocrity, the photo only reinforced those criticisms. Rather than selling Valentine's magic, it sparked confusion. And once again, instead of elevating As Ever, it became another online spectacle, defined by one distorted foot, a handful of pasted balloons, and an unmistakably loud Pennywise energy.